Hey everybody. So I thought I'd give a little tidbit about drainage real quick here and what I've decided to do for mine. Um, if I look like crud and I appear to be wearing the same clothes over and over again, these are my yard work clothes and it means I'm doing yard work. So sorry if I look a little beat up sometimes. It's that time of year, so generally I don't look so great. I have a huge lot. I've got more yard than a house, which you've probably seen. But as far as drainage goes, so I have seen this expert say always use crushed gravel, never use river rock because, and then that expert saying always use river rock, never use crushed gravel because. And so, since they can't make up their minds, I am going ahead and doing mixed media. I'm doing lava rock, then large coarse sand, then river rock and crushed gravel and riprap and just all jumbling it together because the whole point is to make as much airspace as possible in there. So if the experts can't make up their mind what media to use that you're supposed to use, I'm going to use all kinds of things. So I have with my drainage areas just use the lava rock pumice. You can pick those up at the store. And then we naturally have a ton of river rock and some riprap, which riprap is just giant chunks of rocks. We have all of that just naturally here. The only thing I don't have is actual crushed gravel. Um, but in any case, that's how I am choosing to deal with it because if all these people who supposedly know about drainage are going to argue, then I'll just mix it all together because then you have even more airspace if you have crushed gravel and round rock and pumice and lava rock. So in any case, that is how I am choosing to deal with it. Another thing I really recommend as far as drainage goes, if you're in a really wet area, I recommend doing swales. And you want to have a drainage pit, an actual open area. And the reason I say that is because you are taking advantage of evaporation first and foremost. So it's not just about getting percolating the water down into the soil. It's also about evaporation because when things are really wet, you really want a detention pond, retention pond, whichever you choose. Detain is to temporarily hold the water so that it can evaporate and drain, and then retain is like my little pond where you're retaining the water permanently or more permanently than detaining it. So you're working with evaporation. So I recommend just doing adorable dry river beds and things like that. And my dry river beds are hollow underneath, floating on top of um, the lava rock. And so it looks like it's full of rock when really the rock is just floating over the top of it. The river rock is. So it looks pretty, but it's actually hollowed out all the way through with a mixture of all kinds of drainage stuff. So it's actually a floating dry river bed. So it actually has drainage and lava rock underneath what looks like a riverbed. And it's been working great. So, anyway, that's just a really quick tip on different ways to handle drainage for your property. Swales can just be absolutely beautiful. You can look that up. I showed you around my pond. That's a swale or a ground gutter. But when it comes to draining your gutters, if you have gutters, yeah, making an area for it to be able to evaporate as well as digging it out and introducing a bunch of porous debris. Um, Definitely do something like that, because you're taking advantage of two things, not just perk, but also evaporation. So in any case, those are my drainage tips that I've been doing in my yard that really work. Really work. So try those things out. Look up swales, see how to do dry river beds and things like that. When it does rain really hard, it is beautiful to watch. So it's a great way to enhance your property as well. Take care. Don't get scammed.